equations. You can't find them anywhere in the world. It's an invention.
My name is Philippe Pombero. I own a company called Creation Lab. We're a marketing agency that does your marketing from above the line, below the line. It entails digital, it entails print media, it entails campaign conceptualization, strategy and management. We've got quite a big client portfolio, including Honda, F&B, Samsung, MTN, Citroen, who's now left the country, Mahindra. So we've got a few small clients, so small SMEs. We love small SMEs because we actually, like ourselves, were once really small getting started, but we adore startups because we love developing the CI, we like the idea, we like the fact that startups are taking shape, and we love to see the growth of a company, and they usually stay with us the whole time through their startups, and you get to see from the very first logo that they design to the branding that we eventually have to put on their office doors 2 or 3 years down the line. So it's very exciting, very interesting, and that's basically it. Well, my entire business is based on concept, so it was less of an idea and more of the fact that I wanted to sell the concepts that we were creating. Being a very creative-minded person, I'm all for innovation and trying to push the envelope on creativity. And when I started the Creation Lab, I was always very much a marketing-driven person. I was a salesman at heart, and I felt that if I'm going to sell for another company, why not just sell for myself? It's something I'd enjoy more. I'd have full say on whatever I would like to do, whatever my visions were. I could push them forward. I could do whatever because they're mine. There's no one telling me that this doesn't fit within the model of our company. So the thing is that marketing and creativity have always been the strongest factor in this. The fact that I could sit down at a boardroom table and sell concepts. And in marketing, it's never just about the one concept that builds a business. It's about many concepts that build a marketing business. It's about sitting with the client and creating something that will last forever, that clients or prospective clients will be able to associate with your business due to a great marketing strategy or an amazing concept or something that literally sits within their mind. So it's less Creation Lab as a marketing agency. Lots of people say marketing agencies. A lot of marketing agencies actually say we're unique, we're different. Every single marketing agency, if they're not unique and different, they wouldn't be in business. The difference is with the multiple different marketing agencies is literally how you carry yourself across and how your concept, how you are able to plug your concept into the client's brief and something that they will feel great about, something that they feel, she said, we put this out into the marketing, into the space, into our client space. They will look at it and say, wow, these guys are amazing. So every marketing agency, the advertising entity are unique. They have to be in their own certain way. But the real difference between agencies is how it's very much interpersonal. You're dealing with human beings and you're selling ideas. It's not a product that you can sit down with someone and say, well, here's the product, this is the look and feel. You can hold it, look at it. If you like the product and the price point's right, you can just, we can make the deal. Marketing is very, very different. Marketing is, you got to paint a picture, and depending on what sort of storyteller and how good a storyteller you are is whether your clients will take it or not. And then hard work comes after that. When you know, sometimes you'll sell a very, very elaborate story and you'll sell a very elaborate concept or marketing concept and then realize, oh no, I've got to deliver on this. But you know what we do? And we believe that, you know, if whatever idea pops into your head and if you sell it, you deliver on it. And once you deliver on a concept that's so wildly thought of and something so brilliant, the reward is truly massive.
So how do I intend to make a business out of this? There are two ways. If I can design a thing like this, I should be able to finish it and case it well and make money out of it.
The future of Pharma Connect is to produce a platform where access to only quality drugs from the industry will be made.
Yeah, I'm not coming in for money. Because if you give me money now, I can actually just spend it.
What was the mission or the idea of my business? You know, when you start a business as an entrepreneur, and this, you know, we're going back 5 to 6 years here, the very first thought in your head is, I'm going to build something amazing. I'm going to build a company that is, you start envisioning how your company is going to be 5, 6 years down the line, 10 years down the line. In terms of, we're going to have office space, and you know, we're going to have staff, and I'm going to be a cool boss, and we're going to do this with our staff, and we're going to sell this to our clients. And the thing is, those dreams and that vision in your head is quite possibly the most important thing. And I wouldn't say as your daily driver, but just to have it in your consciousness every time, you know, when you sort of, you don't think about that every day because you're dealing with the daily tasks of dealing with clients and, you know, dealing with requests and dealing with sort of putting projects together. But, you know, a couple of months will go by in a new business, a year will go by, or 2 years will go by, and you look back and you say, this was my dream, and somehow you're sort of molding it, and you realize this is harder than your actual image in your head is, and it always is. It's never as easy as you think in your head, like, we're going to have this by this time. Lots of things that you know, happen in business. You know, you've got a lot of speed bumps in the road, but you overcome them, and you actually learn a different lesson every time, every year, every month, every day. You're learning different lessons about business, and you realize that the greatest, grandest sort of empire that you wanted to create when you first started takes a lot of effort and a lot of learning. It's not as easy as just, you know, saying, well, you know, I'm going to start selling my product and my clients are going to love it and they're going to take it. You know, it's things take time. You need to have patience. Once you get staff, you realize that you become a different person in business. You know, it's not just about you anymore. It's about the people that you're paying salaries for. And yeah, so the mission and the vision of my business has always remained the same: to become the biggest marketing agency in South Africa, to become an empire of a company, and maybe move it abroad as well. But you know, the reality is that takes a lot of work, and if at the end of every year, or at the end of every, however you choose, whether it be a month, 2 months, 6 months, or a year, you can sit down and just look back and reflect on what you've done. You then realize, this is what I need to do next year to build the next stepping stone and the next stepping stone. And even if you don't reach that massive empire that you want, you realize that you become a much better businessman. You realize that you start understanding business from a different realm, a different perspective. Because as you grow, you realize that business is a very, very, very entertaining yet difficult thing to do. It's not easy. You've got to be disciplined, you've got to be diligent. You know, when you are your own boss, you can't just wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. In fact, you need to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and your employees wake up at 8. come to work at 8. You are the captain of the ship, and if that ship is ever to get to its destination, it's all hands on deck, and you are the last one off if anything happens. Who do we empower? Now, as a young entrepreneur, my vision, was to empower young marketeers, people like yourself who want to start their own marketing business or go into the marketing field. I'm not entirely sure how to do it. And my initial thing was, as a small business, we can help a young entrepreneur who wants to grow through the ranks, a marketing student who wants to think. We're not always in a position to do this on a large scale. We're still a small to medium enterprise. We're still growing ourselves. But the idea of empowering people has always been one that I've stood by quite heavily. We have always wanted to incubate marketing talent into our actual business, sort of nurture them, and then eventually let them fly off on their own. And we've got a whole strategy on how we would like to do that, which we're not going to get into detail right now. But yes, we did without a doubt want to empower young entrepreneurs, people who want to come through the ranks and make a life for themselves and a title for themselves in the marketing game. And I think we've got massive talent in South Africa. I don't think people realize or even give credit to the young, black, white, coloured Chinese people that are coming through the ranks in varsity that are just so good at creative conceptualizations. The kids today, their minds are so ripe because we've got so much, at our fingertips. I mean, at your age, I had only gotten my first computer, and we didn't have access to the internet. We had the Carter 96 if we needed to find information on. The fact that information is just so readily available, just at a click of a button at your fingertips, really does assist young entrepreneurs with their ideas and their thought processes, because they've just got so much information and they've got so much to draw inspiration from. And I just think that all they need now is somebody who's experienced, that is able to take them under their wing and just show them the business side, how to take an idea and then just build this up and blow it up to eventually hit the markets in a huge way. So absolutely, we will always empower young marketeers and young people who want to start businesses. We're very excited about that. And a lot of the time when people approach us for assistance in this field, we're quite giddy about it, because we like to sit down and listen to young talent, because you have no idea just the amount of creativity that comes out of young talent today. And I'm someone who considers myself and my staff very, very talented. And the fact that we've sat down with young people that have got big ideas and just realised, just why aren't these people given more support in South Africa? We need to nurture this kind of talent, because people are really, really brilliant. So absolutely, to cut the long story short, absolutely, we're hugely an advocate of empowering, and we try to empower young talent as best we can for the size that we are, but we'll continue to do that moving forward as well.
Going to be the Walt Disney of Africa or whatever. You be, then you do, then you have.
So the common misconception is that, you know, being an entrepreneur, you're automatically successful and that life is easier and that the title holds some sort of grandeur. It does. I think when people look at you differently, so, oh wow, you own your own business, but the work is far harder. It's not as easy. There is flexibility in a way in terms of like it's on your own business, on your own time, you can do whatever you want, but your own time consists of 18 hours a day. So you have less time than a person working for a job does, because in order for you to keep your company up, there's so much involved in a business. There's the admin, there's the core product of what you do, there's the dealing with the staff, there's the dealing with many different aspects of your business that, a normal working day is not enough for that. So you work into the night, and I've worked until 2, 3 in the morning. I've woken up at 4 or 5 in the morning to get my day started early, because there's just so much on your plate as a boss. And at the end of the day, you call your own shots, and if you want to take a holiday and things aren't doing well, you can just leave and you've got your own time. But at the end of the day, it's being your own boss is you're successful to a certain degree, but what people don't realize is what comes behind all of that, and what the hustle and the grind behind the scenes that comes with that. And sometimes people will just look at it as like, oh no, life is easy for him. Life is absolutely not easy. Me working at a job would be far easier. But I don't want the easy route, because I enjoy having a business and I enjoy what we do. So I'm happy to do that work. And and I think for any entrepreneur looking to start their own business, it's important to understand that you give up a lot of your life to, to get the rewards much later. It's without a doubt it is not an immediate thing where business just works. You put in a lot of effort before you start reaping the fruits of your labor.
You have the basis of business. Your product is nice and you can sell. On that note, we have no excuse but to support you.
What advice would I give a young entrepreneur moving forward? I'd say my biggest advice, and it would probably be anyone's biggest advice in terms of whoever owns a business, is you've got to grind. It's all about dedication. It's all about work. It's not the easier road. The easier road is a job, without a shadow of a doubt. Don't get caught up in the glamorous title that, I'm going to be my own boss. It is far harder than actually just going and working for somebody. That would be the easier road. This is the harder road. It's the more exciting road, without a shadow of a doubt. It's far more exciting. You get there's so much more to draw from it, because it's just so much more rewarding. But it is unbelievably difficult. It is, well, when I say difficult, I'm not trying to deter any young entrepreneurs from starting a business. Absolutely, it's the actual opposite. I would prefer people coming out of varsities to actually start their own businesses, but with the thought process that they need to grind, in terms of the fact that they need to, what they call a hustle. You need a hustle to make it go, especially in such a competitive world today. There are so many people in your industry, there are so many people in all industries that you have got to compete with. And if you get caught up in that title and you think that it's a more laid back thing to do is to own your own business because you have more flexible time, you're sorely mistaken. This is going to be harder for you than actually having a job, but it is going to be far more rewarding for you. So you keep your wits about yourself. You stay humble, because the tallest trees fall the hardest. So don't make yourself out to be more than you are too early. It's so easy to get caught up in that when you're a young entrepreneur, to think that you're bigger and greater than somebody who maybe works for somebody, or you're bigger and greater than your competition, because you're not. Because at the end of the day, everybody's out there to prove something, everybody's out there to show how creative they are. And if you want to stay relevant, you need to grind, keep your head down, keep your eyes on the market, keep your eyes on your competitors, and realize that you need to stay a step ahead of the game at the best, as best you can, by literally consistently looking around you. You need to have a 360-degree view of what you are doing every single day of your life, because in today's market, today's day and age, it's cutthroat anywhere you turn. So your arrogance needs to be left at the door, humility needs to be brought in. You need to deal with people with humility, you need to deal with your clients with humility. You need to realize that the dedication that you need to put into a business from the onset is so great that it is the main ingredient to having a startup business that's going to be successful. It's fun, it's rewarding, it's incredible, but it comes with an immense amount of hard work. And time is the biggest thing in business, hugely. You need to learn how to prioritize time. At the end of the day, we all want to do fun things as an entrepreneur because we think we can, because we own our own business, we're not held down by a boss or somebody that says, no, you've got to be here from X time to that time. But you're more flexible in your time, but make no mistake, you need to look at your time as currency when you're in business, because if you start just wasting time, that won't reflect, it will reflect in your profitability. Time is a currency factor in business. It's about, I would rather save time than save money. I would rather spend money to buy me time. And that's hugely important. So I would say yes, absolutely. In business, dedication, hard work, putting in the grind, being being humble, dropping the arrogance at the door, and watching your time closely and respecting time, because time is more valuable than money, to me.
I'm Sally Adams.
The name of our company is Nice Tech Global.
The most important thing you have to do is provide the confidence of the person going to give you the money that you're capable of delivering on the opportunity.
There's a difference between motion, movement, and progress. All of what you've done so far is a lot of motion. Progress is not just motion and movement. It's motion plus movement in the right direction.